You know, I was a young lad. My mother said to me, Jacob, you can do anything if you work hard at it. And I've half-assed my way through life, Sam.
First of all, she never said that. Second of all, quarter-ass at best.
Please.
Wait, hang on. I just have to clear my... Oh, now I sound like Barry White. That's amazing.
I think there was a trick I was doing around Jesse. Hold on. Hello, friend Sam. How are you this fine evening?
Hello, I am selling pornography. Would you like some pornography? I think that's as good as any to start out on.
Oh, give me like one more minute.
Okay.
Half a minute. 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 secs.
I need something to antagonize you. I fucking hate these fucking posters. Why? What the fuck is with Velo Sport Bicycles?
Bicycles? I'm Jacob Waskow from Old Country. I ride the bicycle. I'm just bebopping and scatting all over you today.
See, that's an opener. That's a fucking opener. I'm just bebopping and scatting all over you.
All right, then we're in. That gave you 30 seconds.
That's the end. That was a good end. That was the end I was looking for. I'm bebopping and scatting all over you.
Okay. Welcome to The Breakup, the podcast about destroying the things you love by giving them away. I'm your co-host, Sam Young.
I'm your other co-host, Jacob Waskow.
That is correct. You said that with a lot of authority. That you really knew who you were in that moment.
Yes, I do.
I am selling pornography.
I am looking directly at you, fully aware of who I am. By God, do you doubt me?
Yes, Senator. Wait, do I doubt you or do I not doubt you?
I thought, that was an interesting...
That's like asking someone if they mind.
One more go. Do you doubt me?
Nah.
Very well.
All right. This week, I believe... it is your turn to go first, I want to say.
You know, at this point, I just let you do it. You're in charge. Go ahead. You've
never known.
I have never known, and I never choose
to
know. Sam, what piece of shit do you make me watch this week?
Last time, Jacob was punished after a deferred punishment. Jacob was forced to watch against his will the DVD version of Samuel Beckett's Endgame, starring Michael Gambon and David Thewlis, for you Harry Potter freaks out there. Jacob, why don't you give us a summary of Endgame?
Fade in. Dumbledore is dying. Already?
Just keep going. That's all I needed. Keep going! Keep going, you son of a bitch!
Dumbledore is dying. His only child taken from...
This has never happened before.
I was literally today watching the bit of Robert Webb on one of those shows.
Yeah.
And they're doing a quote and he's making fun of the quote and he's like, and it's about Tom Cruise. He's like, well, I suppose Tom Cruise doesn't need help to make a Wii, except I guess of course in his final days. and David Mitchell's the host. He's like, all right, going on. And then Webb just starts breaking down. He just starts laughing hysterically at his own incompetence. And Charles dances there and he's like dabbing his eyes and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
I'm so sorry, everyone. And everyone's just kind of laughing at him for... Okay.
All right.
I'm not even going to look at you.
Yeah, don't look at me, because I'm not going to get through this one.
Dumbledore is dying. The Harry Potter universe is on its last legs. An apocalyptic event that is not named, and does not need to be named, has absolutely scoured the English countryside.
Keep going. Just do it.
There's no hope left for Dumbledore. All of the...
Why is it this one?
All of the hope has been drained from this magical world. Harry Potter died years ago. All that's left is a Weasley. A broken, sad, pathetic little Weasley to take care of Dumbledore in his last legs. In his hubris, with no one left, Dumbledore cloned himself, trying to recreate company, actually intelligent company that wasn't a Weasley. They were left but pawns, sent immediately to the trash. The cleverness of the worst high school principal. It could never be matched, never replicated. Over the course of this 19-hour play, Dumbledore realizes his follies in life, realizes that Weasleys were not made to serve. They weren't made for much of anything, really. They were made for failure. Accursed progenitor! Such as the Weasleys should scour these broken, sad wastes, alone and unloved. Aye, but could they survive?
God, it keeps going.
You okay? I had to plug my ears.
Yeah, he had to plug his ears.
Oh.
Is that it? Is that good? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Ask me the question.
Sam, why do you like this piece of shit?
I don't actually. Okay. I'm gonna go back into the mists of time here. I am a bit of a Samuel Beckett fanboy.
Shared first name helps.
Yeah, shared first name helps. But I don't really like Endgame. It's fine. It can be played very well. It's a really slow, very portentous play, and it's very, very, very depressing, as you may expect from Samuel Beckett. But like to the nth degree. Like when Jacob said the thing about the apocalypse, that actually is true. That's not a joke. And I think the movie version that I made Jacob watch, I think it loses a lot for a play that I don't love. I think it loses a lot
probably because of the blocking.
The block, yeah. It's hard to do it. It's a really stagey play. Like it's a really, really theatrical play, and I don't know how you do that on film effectively without like making it either super experimental or just filming it very unconventionally. If you didn't get from Jacob's summary, Endgame is a play about an old man named Ham and his manservant Clove and
/adopted son
as is implied, and Ham's two parents who are living in trash cans in the back of the room. And there's no real plot. Mostly it's that Clove wants to leave, but he won't, and then maybe he does, and it's kind of ambiguous. And they bicker back and forth a lot, and one of the parents dies, maybe, in the background. And I'm sure this sounds like a really appealing piece of theater, but I assure you it is not. So, Jacob, that being said, what did you think of your punishment?
I actually kind of liked it.
Yeah.
Like just a little.
Just a wee bit. Just a tiny bit. Yeah.
And I feel bad because this makes me the hypocrite that I am.
Because you've been chastising me for enjoying punishments.
Well, I think what it is that it's a play that starts out really well.
Yeah.
Like the first 15 minutes of this recorded performance is actually pretty engaging.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on. You know that Gambon is, I think, drugged up on ether, and that's about it.
I think that's the implication.
And for all we know, this is just happening in his like addled brain space. Like he could just be alone without any of the Weasleys left to see him.
I love that you made them the Weasleys.
There is a lot of good performance vocally. everyone here is selling their lines.
Yeah.
Like their life depends on it. No one is phoning this in. No one is hamming this in.
Heyo.
Hey.
And that's it for our show.
And unfortunately, the performance is an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah. Is it only an hour 20?
It feels
much longer. Oh, yeah.
It feels like good 3 hours. I had to do it in 2 sessions.
Yeah.
I couldn't one-shot that thing.
The biggest problem with doing it on film is that it is a play where only one of the characters actually moves. Nobody else walks around. It's so still.
I don't mind the stillness. I mind everything else.
Yeah.
There is no color, intentionally, mind you.
Yeah, that's fair.
There is no action. There is nothing redeemable about any of these characters, intentionally, except perhaps the grandfather, who has, I think, one of the best speeches I've heard in a piece of fiction about young children screaming out in the cold of night and me not actually caring when you were a child, and I didn't listen, and I never will.
It's a very Jacob Waskovian kind of speech.
Yeah, that was the problem. Was this was a jab at me being ham, because
we were having a disagreement about which one of us is ham and which one of us is clove.
I believe you are the grandfather.
Ah, I see.
And I'm ham.
Yeah.
And enemy of the podcast, Nothing More, Jesse Cowell, is clove.
Yeah. That shakes out.
Yeah. And the only other character in that play is dead. So who cares?
Yeah.
They could be played by a sock puppet.
See, that's a version of Endgame I'd love to see, the sock puppet version.
Well, I was told that the Beckett estate is very litigious with performances.
Very litigious. So
unless we got allowance to do this, we cannot perform the sock puppet.
No, we would not be able to. The Beckett estate, for everyone who doesn't know, basically will not allow you to perform the plays outside of the exact specifications that Beckett put down. So you can't cross... Okay, you can cross-cast, like you can have a woman playing a man's role, but she can't be playing it as a woman. She has to be playing it as a man. It's very, 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 very strict. Also, I don't think, like, I'd have to check this, but in my lifetime, the copyright will not revert to the public domain. So...
Well, remember, copyright is lifetime plus however long Disney wants it to be.
I feel like I've... Yeah, right. I feel like I've looked it up before, but you won't see many sock puppet Waiting for Godot's. Anyway, so you sort of liked it, but...
I liked the start.
Yeah.
I think it just flagged after a while.
Yeah.
You got the point.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
I would say it works better in a theater, and even then, I'm not crazy about that play. It
was no Waiting for Godot.
No, it was not a Waiting for Godot.
It was no Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead.
The set of DVDs I have, it's like every Beckett play and put on film, and some of them work better than others. And there's 4 really long ones. One of them is Endgame. And there's another one called Happy Days, which was almost Your Punishment. And that is a play where a woman is buried up to her head in sand and just yammers for about 2 hours. And even I found that difficult to get through. But I felt that Endgame was slightly more accessible. There are better Beckett plays or better film versions of Beckett plays.
I refuse to believe you.
All right.
So,
you've been punished.
I give Endgame thumb up.
Thumb up.
1 thumb.
Cool.
Out of 2.
So, Jacob, what did you make me do?
I made you play made by the guy who was responsible, I guess, in part for hit sensation Fallen London. Play the game Cultist Simulator. Describe a summary of this game to me.
Cultist Simulator is about a person who starts a cult. There, go, done. That is what it's about. Oh, you want me to describe the gameplay of things? Oh, I see.
I think these summaries are your little chance to speak out. I think you're allowed to do whatever you want. This is a hostile episode. This is your creative time. Tell me.
I don't want to. I didn't know what I was going to say there. But that really followed through with how I was feeling about what you were just saying. I don't want to. Cultist Simulator is...
You're going to ask a question.
No, I do actually want to describe this slightly.
All right.
Cultist Simulator. I've not played Fallen London. Is it kind of like Fallen London?
Fallen London is infinitely shittier.
Okay, but is it? But I mean, as an engine.
No, it's a much simpler engine. Ultimately, Fallen London is a game where thematically it is very cool. Mechanically, it is shittier than Farmville.
So the way the Cultist Simulator works, and this game throws you in the deep end. It does not explain anything. There is no tutorial. You're just in there and you have to figure it out. You get a set of cards, and the game is just a table. And you move these cards onto these buttons that do certain actions. And they're all flavored as like things like going to work, having a dream, talking to a person, exploring the city. And the setting of the game is very vague, and you have to really work hard to kind of understand it. But it's vaguely like maybe steampunk England kind of thing.
Like slightly darker, drearier
and
England.
there's something called the Mansis, and this is sort of often alluded to, and maybe there's kind of some woods around the city. And anyway, you play a person who is trying to like enlighten his or herself to become the leader of a cult and maybe more. I have played this game now. I haven't checked on Steam, but probably a good 14 hours now. Like, I've played a lot of this game.
More than you're required.
More than I was required. And I managed to win once with a minor victory, which was effectively going to work a lot and solving a case at my job as a policeman. So that's that. Jacob, why do you like this piece of shit?
I ranted before about writing in video games. About the union between mechanics and not so mechanics.
Fluff and crunch.
And I think there's a lot of talk these days about examples of games that don't do that well. Or games that have very good writing and the mechanics don't entirely fuck that up.
Yeah.
But there's this great bit about filmmaking where you should watch a movie with the sound off and still get a sense of what's
I've heard that.
What is going on. So I think the mechanics, completely on their own, should be able to tell the same story you're trying to say with words, and pictures, and text. And Cultist Simulator does that in spades. Much like Hotline Miami does in spades. So, 14 hours in. How far are you doing, buddy?
I've died a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I've died a lot. I'm just going to skip to this. I really like this.
I know you
obviously. Jacob, I've been teasing Jacob throughout the week about this, but obviously I like it. Aesthetically, it's very cool. It's very, like... I'm not a big Lovecraft fan. I've never actually read Lovecraft.
This does this well.
I like that mood, though. I like that creeping horror that might just be you going insane kind of thing. Aesthetically, very cool. It made me like a form of game I actually don't really care for. I don't like real-time games where you have to juggle a lot of balls in the air, but this one's really nice. It lets you pause and think and strategize. Like you're not constantly having to click on things. That's the other I like that you don't have to like click endlessly on things, because each time you put a card into a
socket
button, it has a timer and it'll slowly count down, and some timers are bad and some timers are good, and you have to find like a card that will save you if a bad thing happens or whatnot. And the game is very unforgiving. It's really unforgiving, and there's a lot of trial and error, but it really rewards you for exploring and trying different cards on different things, and like you're just solving puzzles. Really.
Here's a question for you. Have you summoned a demon yet?
No, this was the thing that really got me stuck.
I was stuck like you for a long time.
I figured out how to do it, and so there's an element of the game where you can summon, like...
I'm going to pause here and say, I encourage people to go into this blind.
Oh, yeah,
and try and figure out as much of this as you can on your own.
That is all the more rewarding.
Because that's part of the story to me.
So, we're probably going to spoil some of the aspects of this. So, if you do want to play this... And that's a recommend for me.
Solid recommend for both of us.
If you like what I've been describing and you like that aesthetic...
Even if you don't like it, it's super cheap. Give it a shot.
Yeah, I think it's worth trying out. So, there's an aspect of the game where you summon things, you do rituals, and I had various versions of a character, and I named them all variations of Jacob's name, which got difficult after like the 10th time. So I think I had Kobaj Kaswow after a while.
Jesus.
And one of them, I got quite far.
Yeah.
I got a lot of little rituals and things. I got a lot of minions, but I never quite figured out the way to summon things. Or I did figure out how to summon demons and things, but I never had the right stuff. And there was a certain point where my resources were very limited, and I didn't quite know how to go forward.
How
and
deep
then
did you
I died.
explore the Mansis?
You mean like the wood thing? The way. I got 3 of those.
Oh, you got 3?
I got 3 of those.
So that's pretty solid.
Yeah. This is going to sound horribly esoteric, so pardon us. I've actually got a new game that I'm running right now where I'm kind of closing in. I will admit, after I did sort of the podcast predetermined, like, this is what we're doing, I did cheat a little bit because I would sometimes do something and get something and not know how I did that. And so I'd go back to look it up.
That's fine. That's
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Basically, the absolutely I'm going to tell you how to win at this game cheating moment here.
Yeah.
For people who really don't want this spoiled, and they shouldn't, moods become mood cards.
Yeah.
Those become like your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
And
I noticed that.
And the third door into the Mantis really seals the deal for that.
Yeah. You get these little cards that appear all of a sudden, which are like fascination or dread or contentment, things like that. And at first, they're kind of a hindrance because if you get, for example, a lot of dread, you just die or you go crazy. Whereas if you get, I don't know what happens if you get a lot of fascination. I've never really triggered a lot of those.
Dread, you kill yourself.
Yeah.
Fascination, you go like loony bins.
Yeah. So at first they're kind of hindrances, like you're kind of trying to get rid of them, but there is an element of the game when you're doing these summonings, which I only managed to do 2 successfully, and it didn't actually get me a demon or anything. You can use them as like the trappings of the ritual, which I think is really cool.
You sacrifice that part of it to
a part of you in a way.
There's also cards that are just like a moment of tension. And it's just like there's a card that just says the air is still, something gnaws deep inside of you. Your hair's hackle or whatever.
There's also a very elaborate system of you get these rituals or these ceremonies, these pieces of lore, and you kind of have to figure out how to progress them.
Yeah.
And there's a whole little sub game of doing that, which I've kind of sort of figured out.
The other trick to it is that when you're close, the description of what you're doing changes to hint at,
things change.
You need to add this or this.
Yeah. But anyway, that being said, the other cool thing is that you will occasionally gain enemies who are trying to track you down and stop you from doing whatever you're doing. Is also probably the part of the game I found the most annoying was dealing with those.
Well, I think that's a great bit of the story is you're just like, oh, there's this fucking Sherlock after you as Moriarty, and you're just like, this motherfucker, when will you give up?
So there's, I think 3 of them are named, and then there's a generic one called the Weary Detective, and I swear that to God that Weary Detective was wearing bulletproof everything.
Oh,
I could not murder that man. There was one of him, I could not kill that man.
You send everything after him.
Send everything after them. That's kind of an interesting thing too. Is there's multiple ways of dealing with the everything really, but the detectives and whatnot. Mostly, I figured I can kill them with my minions. I know there are other ways of doing it. I never figured them out.
It's esoteric. Basically, I think you use
You can use dread and fascination to do things, but that never worked for me. So.
Oh, really?
It changes them from.
I think you either give them moth lore or you send someone who's really strong at moth lore.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know you can use winter to sort of subtly try to kill them.
I know with
there are different kinds of lore. This is a very rich tapestry. It's kind of not doing it justice the way we're talking about it. This is just kind of us geeking out. I like this game.
Yes, I
like this game. At first, I actually didn't really care for the system, and I grew to actually quite appreciate it. And it really is satisfying after a while when you get a little reward for doing something.
Where something actually clicks and it starts moving.
It feels great when you figure something out. There's also little jobs you have to kind of make money as you go along, because otherwise, if you don't have enough money, you starve to death. There's the police detective. There's the bright young thing, quote unquote, who's like dallies around. And the best one, for my money, is the doctor, because that gets you the most money consistently.
Well, basically, yeah. If you're doctor, that's kind of slightly easy mode. But even better is you become executive of a company until there's like too much like mystique around you.
Yeah.
Because your job will eventually sort of
notice
you're getting mystique, and eventually the president of the company says you've been relieved of your duties.
Yeah.
And there's a great description of him nervously writing this in front of you, sweating bullets, hearing everything you've done, just like, you're relieved now, sir.
I noticed that happens with the doctor too.
Yeah.
The one I died on, I got very far. I think I must have had a massive amount of mystique or dread or something, and I stopped making money. It was very interesting. I don't know what triggered it. But anyway, that's Cultist Simulator. I really like Cultist Simulator, and I highly recommend it.
Yep.
Here's the thing I'm interested about, because I feel like I experienced it in a different, or I appreciated it in a different way than you did. You feel it's a really well written game, and I don't disagree. But I wasn't like, my world wasn't set on fire, so I'm curious what you meant by that.
So again, spoilers here.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah.
So
spoilers,
basically, when I was talking about mechanics, basically you go through about 4 or 5 different stages with this game. First, you're dropped in the deep end, middle of nowhere.
Don't know what
you
that
have no idea what the fuck is happening, and you don't know why you even care. Second stage is you've realized what's happening, and you're like, I'm invested now.
Yeah.
I kind of want to figure this out. You still have no idea what you're doing, though.
Yeah, you're just floating around or flailing around.
Third stage is failure. Constant fucking failure. Yeah. Nothing is working. Don't know what the hell to do. Fourth is what I call the trial phase. Where you know what to do. You finally figure out all the little sort of nuances and mechanics of the game. Yeah. But either A, fascination keeps being a problem, or despair keeps being a problem. Or you don't know how to fucking deal with this cop who keeps coming after you.
Coming back.
You've got
your homes, as it were.
And this is also the part where you hit near the end. And I'm not going to spoil what near the end is like for this game. But it requires a lot of, I'm a monster. More so than everything I've done before now. I've summoned literally incubus, like the incubus.
You've killed people.
I've killed a lot of people, and I'm gonna have to do that more. I've summoned eldritch non-beings to get myself all of the ancient lores.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that in this game, ancient lores. I've learned every language under the sun, and some that weren't, some that were never under the sun. And the fifth stage is basically apotheosis. You realize I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I am unto a god.
I've reached this. The game is beneath me now. I've done it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it, and then you do it. I've just described the hero's journey in 5 steps.
Yeah.
And I think that's really fucking good. That the game's mechanics are designed for that.
Okay, that's interesting. So you feel, how do I describe?
I think the lore, the setting, the world, the lore is rich,
quite nice. Yeah,
and so is Fallen London. But that's not
because what I took you to mean when you said writing was all the little flavor snippets,
and that's good too.
And those are good. But what you're saying is the way the game is written as like a story that you play through mechanically is done really well. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
and I haven't even got that far.
Yeah,
I would agree with
that. And
that.
I think that is a part of video games that's been neglected.
Yeah, I could imagine this being on a phone app. You know, like it is.
I think they've literally tried to do that.
Yeah, I was scared. I was curious if they had. It's not like a. I don't believe
it can be a tablet game.
It can be a tablet game.
Phone screen's too small.
Yeah, that's true. The term casual game is kind of bullshit, but this is something like I think is very accessible. Surprisingly,
this is not mechanically intensive.
No, it's not.
It's a logic puzzle.
Easy to learn, hard to master.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Cultist Simulator is fantastic, and I'm glad that you made me play it. It was not at all what I expected.
No.
I thought it would be a little more like
an actual like traditional.
I don't know what I thought it would be. I thought there would be like you're in a cult and you have to be a cult. like
and
member.
having to fit in. And
or something. Yeah,
that's a different game that doesn't exist.
Yeah, the game is maybe, or the title is a bit of a misnomer.
See, I think the title seals the deal.
Yeah.
Where
it's very
through mechanics, you have simulated this cult experience.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
It works on many levels. It's very beautiful. Okay, here's a question. What path did you go for? Because there's 3, if I recall.
I think I got all of them. Like, I played the game a lot.
So you tried to go as far as you could with all of them.
Yeah.
What would you choose personally?
Me is the me. Yeah. I gotta go with enlightenment, man.
Yeah, of course.
Knowledge is power. What about you?
Enlightenment.
Yeah.
The
We're nerds. What
sad, interesting thing is, there is the ending you get if you beat the game as
Did I ask you? Sorry, did I ask you how many you've actually won?
I've only won 1.
Yeah.
Because once you do it once, you're like,
you're kind of done. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Each one of those 3 has like a win condition, and they're going to add true victory conditions.
Yeah.
And that just made me fucking furious. Because they're about to add, I think, this month, the one for...
There's some DLC, yeah.
There's the one for, I think, Sensation. You're going to get a true victory condition for Sensation.
Okay.
And they also work at the Euclideus Club, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You get to summon that guy.
Oh, cool.
Who it's named
really
after.
Cool.
And that was the guy who said literal incubus. Like,
nice.
he is basically... mythological incubus meets like a hellraiser. So he shows up and he's just like, I will feast upon your flesh. And you go, hey, I actually just wanted to learn Fastidian, the language. Oh, I can teach you that real good. Do you know Greek? Oh, I don't know Greek yet. You gotta learn Greek first.
Oh, dude, you gotta learn Greek.
I will teach you through the sensation of my razor tongue. Great, but I need to know Greek first. Yeah, no, that's the only way I can get it out.
So yeah, I'll give that
2 thumbs up.
I'll give that 2 thumbs up. Yeah, definite 2 thumbs up. So
strike it out again.
Strike it out again.
Put a number 1 in the box.
Yeah. Common theme.
F.
F is for fake.
Fae.
Fae.
Have we done Fae?
No. F-A-E.
No, F-E-Y.
F-E-Y.
As in fairy.
No, I know though that. I don't know if it quite fits Endgame.
I guess it's not a
Forboding.
Ah, yeah, you got it.
Foreboding. There we go. All right, so...
That also fits with the second part of this podcast.
Yes.
3rd, 4th, I don't know what number we're on.
We have reached the end of the hero's journey on the podcast.
We've reached Endgame.
Yes, this is the Endgame. So for the next 3 episodes, Jacob and I will actually be doing sort of a long-form thing, as we've threatened for quite a while, actually. Yeah. What we'll be doing is we'll be kind of splitting up our assignments into chunks, and we'll be coming back to talk about them as we go along. So why don't you give me yours first?
Sam, I will tell you that top fan of the podcast, Nicholas Stinchcombe, has been waiting for this suggestion for a very long time. They will be very pleased. And this is my wedding gift to them. It's very cheap to do this.
Yeah.
Sam, you'll be watching Season 1 of cult, not very classic anime, Kaiji Ultimate Survivor.
Okay. I've never heard of this.
We must have spoken over. No? Okay. You're
no clue.
You're in for a trip, good friend. And secret wish dad.
No, I'm your dead grandpa in the trash can. Isn't that what we established?
Yeah, but
actually it is his dad. Anyway, you, my friend, will be reading a book, and I've chosen a fairly long book because I wanted to stretch this out. You will be reading, and oh, holy shit, I hope you didn't read this because I had so much trouble thinking of what this would be. The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. Oof, it's a bit of a tone.
Wowee. Well,
I don't know.
I hate you already.
Yeah.
Book 1 of the Gentleman Bastard sequence.
There are 3 of them. I've only read a bit of the other 2.
I thought this was an old book.
Nope. It just is a cool cover. So next time we will we'll figure out between ourselves in the meantime how we're going to chunk things up.
Well, math.
Yeah, we'll throw.
What's a third of 500-something pages? I'll figure it
out. We'd like to thank Irritating Rainbow for the use of our theme song, You Broke It. You can find that on their website, which I've linked in the description. Final thought. Get this nice and clean. End this one early.
fading false light. The hangman's wood and the swamp water mist glued clothes to skin and rapidly congealed Callow and Galdo's tobacco smoke around them, half cloaking them in a cataract of grayness. I've dented your book already.